thing that I would share is that never say no to any opportunity.
Okay.
Do not indulge in self-doubt. Never ever cease to put your hand up when there is something for you to do.
Okay.
Back then, I remember I used to be running the strategy and business planning, making forecast for the future.
Yeah.
If there was somebody who was stuck and wanted me to help doing something, I never said no. Till date, I never say no to anything because my parents always taught me that no work is below your dignity. I go to the treadmill with a certain problem in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, Kapisa, this is going to be a short distance.
Yeah.
And I end up running for 6-7 kilometers. And believe me when I say this, I have a solution for them.
Oh, okay.
I get down and I can't even wait to take my sweat off, and
Yeah,
I'm texting
yeah,
people,
yeah.
you know what, we should try this. And they were like, oh. So now there is a joke in my office as well. Okay, this is the treadmill solution.
Yeah. Alright, it's CEO Talks. Hari ini barengan sama Willy Winarko, and we got somebody very special. Kalau hari ini kita bakal ngobrol-ngobrol sama CEO dari AXA Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, opal gengs, kita ngobrol-ngobrol sama Ibu Niharika Yadav. Halo.
Good morning, selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. So I guess we're gonna mix a little bit with English and Indonesian. So I would say, first off, how's your morning today?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, starting with an opportunity to connect with the Opal community, what could be a better start than that?
Perfect. So first off, to all our listeners, it's like, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got started in the industry? Definitely with AXA Indonesia, it is an insurance, or the biggest insurance company in Indonesia. So can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So as everyone can make out, I'm from India, but I've been out of India for almost 15 years. So I started my career with a big multi-business interested group called Bharti Enterprises. I worked with them for about 10 years, and then I had this opportunity to move to our JV partners, AXA, which is one of the biggest French insurance company, to move to Hong Kong. So I moved to Hong Kong in 2010, heading the strategy function for the entire region. So Hong Kong was the regional office, looking after about 9 to 11 countries back then. Hong Kong, China, Philippines, Thailand. Back then, we had a little bit of Korea as well as Vietnam business also, strategic interest of AXA, and of course India and Indonesia.
Yeah.
So huge portfolio, and I had this immense opportunity to head the strategy function, which not only allowed me to understand a lot about the international insurance and different countries, but also gave me a good platform to understand the nuances of different countries. Southeast Asia was very different from China and Greater China, which is Hong Kong. And then, of course, India was different in the developing states. So it was a fantastic opportunity.
Wow. I mean, just hearing that, you've been to so many places, and you probably go under you is like a lot of countries, different cultures, different ethnicities. And so that's actually a challenge in itself, definitely, yeah?
Yes, I mean, I would say a learning opportunity, because when you go with the open mind to learn different nuances and understand different culture, then it's just a very good opportunity, right?
Yeah.
But if you take the challenge, the cultural challenge as a obstacle or as a hindrance, then of course you think that it's a challenge. But for me, I mean, India and Indonesia are quite alike, right? Like Indonesia is a country with many nations, India is also a country with many nations, because every part of the state brings different cultural aspects. So for me, I'm always open to understand and learn more about things. And I mean, I can very easily navigate through different cultures so far.
So far. Yeah, fingers crossed. Now, looking at your portfolio and your title as well, I would say you're the President Director of AXA Financial. What is the difference between President Director and CEO?
Well, there isn't. So President Director is an accepted and recognized title in Indonesia for all limited liability companies. But in our layman, it is the Chief Executive Officer.
Okay.
Essentially, both the roles are there for you to formulate the strategy with different stakeholders,
Yeah.
be responsible of the execution of the long-term, the short-term strategy, and deliver on the targets that you
I
get.
see. Okay, so technically it is the same
It is the
title.
same.
It's the same. It's just the name that's different.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
a lot of our listeners are like college kids. Probably fresh graduates. And they want to know. When they start going in for like job interviews, they look at the job desk.
Yeah.
What is my job description? What is the job description of a CEO for you?
Well, it can be simply said that you are responsible for the organization in every aspect, whether it is about people, partners, processes. But if you want to see and hear more complicatedly, then it is obviously execution of the long-term strategy, which then talks to the purpose of why AXA Financial Indonesia exists. Why are we here? What do we do? What do we enable for our customers? What do we do as a responsible insurance company for the society?
Yeah.
What is our contribution to the employees and the partners who are working?
Yeah.
What is the difference that we are making?
Ah.
Down to breaking that strategy into short-term strategy, into executionable strategy, which always talks to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
that is always aligned to the bigger picture. But then you have short-term strategy on obviously delivering on customer satisfaction, a high level of employee engagement, ESG targets,
Yeah.
and of course, not to forget about our sales targets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is always there. But you see, the narrative for the CEOs, to all the young Gen Z people who are listening to me, the narrative of a CEO's responsibility is changing very fast. It's not only restricted to your sales target and your growth and your market share.
Yeah.
I think the narrative, the job desk is changing a lot. It is the difference that you deliver to all the people that you're responsible for in.
Yeah. Wow. What you said is that it's always changing. At the end of the day, you're just responsible for the company. So, what made you feel like this is your fit? Like, what made you get into insurance?
Okay, I'm going to give an honest answer. So basically, I was working in a telecom company, but then I was responsible for many, many other industries. Like I said, my previous employers had interest in more things than telecommunications. So it was financial services, real estate, retail, education, call center. So I was responsible for the whole portfolio, again for strategy
For
and
everything
finance.
is strategy, yeah.
Why I got into insurance was that suddenly, you see, all the other business follows a simple pattern of profit and loss, balance sheet.
Yeah.
The way to calculate revenue is pretty much standard.
Yeah.
But insurance is a new world, in an absolutely new world, where how you account for top line, how you account for bottom line are absolutely different. So I got very intrigued, having worked in the other 13 companies that we had,
Yeah.
which had a standard way, of course, different drivers,
Yes.
different business have different drivers, but the way to understand the business successes were pretty much standard. You have revenue, you have profit, and then you have margin, then you have net income. But things change in insurance. So in the first few days, the acronyms that they were using for insurance were like, okay, what is that now? APE, annual premium equivalent? Oh my God. And the first few days I struggled to see, okay, these acronyms should talk to them, and they don't.
Oh,
So I got
okay.
really capo.
Yeah,
Capo is the
capo,
word.
yeah.
Very curious,
Yeah,
very
curious.
inquisitive. That what is it? What is APE? What is this embedded value?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
must
yeah.
understand.
In Indonesia as well, we're 350 million people. It's a big market. A lot of people need to be insured. How do you see insurance in Indonesia? I mean, is it like is everybody insured? Because I don't know that it is that
Yeah.
big. I would say, like, when you talk insurance, I would say it's like telemarketers, number one. Number two is like, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't
yeah.
really need it. How would you view insurance in Indonesia now?
Yeah. So Indonesia is a great country when it comes to potential. So the potential of insurance to grow here is huge, given exactly the population of 350, the mix, the growing middle class, the growing affluence
Yeah.
in the country. So definitely it is a perfect market for growth potential in future. Today, as we stand, you're absolutely right. The penetration of insurance is one of the lowest at 2.7.
Wow. So 2.7%.
7%.
Wow.
So 2.7% is, but it was even lower 5 years back.
It was even lower.
So it was
before.
about 1.3, and every year we are making a little bit of progress by the increased awareness. And I have to say, pandemic was a great catalyst. It was a great catalyst because the awareness increased. People, there are a lot of surveys that you can get access to, which said that all Indonesians, now 1 out of 3 Indonesians think that yes, we must have. Indonesians' perspective on insurance is changing. They don't think that it's an expense.
Okay.
But they think it's an investment.
It is an investment. It is a need. Right?
Yeah. So my vision and my hope is that just like the telecommunication coming from a telco background, just like the penetration is 77% or 78, one of the highest in the world for Indonesia for internet and telecom.
Yeah.
My hope is that one day we can be proud that the insurance penetration is also a strong double-digit number.
Yes.
Why? Because you and I had a little chat outside.
Yes.
We all know that at any age and any circumstances, you could be encountered with some situation where you do need an extra help. An extra help, whether it is about cash flows, an extra help about preventive measures. You do need a partner, and that's the vision of AXA. AXA wants to protect what matters. You know, they want to work and act for the human progress by protecting what matters. Our responsibility here is to protect everybody's health, to protect everybody's peace of mind, by ensuring that whatever unforeseen circumstances come onto you, we would be your partners. It's not about unforeseen circumstances. I hate to link insurance with only the bad things, bad health, accident, death. No, insurance is your partner for even ensuring that you fulfill your dream. You want to send your children to good university? You should have a good investment plan, a saving plan that enables the cash flow at a certain milestone in your life. You want to own a house, you want to go for beautiful holidays around the globe, you must have the planning done, and there the insurance company comes handy.
I love it. You know, I look at insurance as something as an investment, really. As you said, it was a peace of mind, right? You have their peace of mind with that. Indonesia, especially like my generation, you know, millennials, Gen Z, let's say we like to travel the world, right? We want to go outside, and, you know, we spend all our cash there. And, you know, we come back with no money. Imagine getting into, you know, something that you don't want to get into when you're outside of the country, and you come in and, you know, things happen like that. And, you know, I guess that's where insurance comes in. We're like, okay, I'm at least, you know, my health is going to be covered. Or
it's an enabler.
It is
an enabler to live the life that you want to live.
Exactly.
It helps you to lead the life, your choices, your lifestyle, your things that you want to do. I think insurance is just your partner to enable that.
So, you know, you're talking about, you know, this penetration that was like 2.7%. So, what's the ideal? Is that the biggest challenge that you're facing right now?
Yes. So as an industry in insurance, we are facing this problem of low awareness. So there is a lot of thrust and focus on financial literacy, making sure people understand what can they access and what they can own in terms of. So there are variety of products, choices of products that everybody can, affordable ones, comprehensive one, expensive one, short term, long term, mid term, you name it, and the 45 insurance companies that you have in the life space, they have a solution for one and everybody's need.
Okay.
So I would really encourage everyone to understand more about what can they access in terms of insurance thing. Ideal number, it's very difficult to say. I mean, but I could share with you that mature markets, mature economies like Hong Kong, Japan, they have insurance penetration of more than 20-25%.
Okay.
So I think the maturity of an economy is also exhibited in these numbers, because obviously that shows that there is enough disposable income for people to look after their future and not providing from day to day.
Okay.
So for me, taking this very low single digit number of 2.7 to a double digit number in the near future, and then keep expanding as the awareness keeps increasing, would be an ideal state.
Nice. So we can't wait to see that as well. I would say that penetration will also look at, how the economy is doing overall.
Yes,
exactly,
yes,
right?
yes.
So that's how it is. Now, going off from your work, I'm going into your role as a CEO, as the head of the company, right? There are so many people there with different ages, different backgrounds, different nationalities. How do you gel them all together to actually go over the goal that you have set?
Fantastic question. For me, actually, when I came to Indonesia and I took this job, I was obviously very excited, my first time CEO role. But there was a language problem. I still sedikit bhasa only. Okay.
Very little.
But I understand everything, and I make sure that not everyone knows that I understand bhasa. So sometimes when they're talking about me, I can hear that. And I say, Bapak tahu, saya bilang, saya tahu pa. So and they get a little bit of a shock. For me, the biggest thing was to kind of make myself accepted in a culture which is very unique, very warm, but self-reliant. Indonesia is a country with a lot of professionals. There are a lot of people who are at good position who are Indonesian. It's a very national country, right?
Yes.
Penetrating and making yourself useful and relevant to lead a company which is 100% Indonesian company was my first opportunity. I refrain using the word challenge because that was wow. So it wasn't about making them work with me. It was about how can I work with them? How can I make myself relevant for them? How can I speak their language without speaking their language? How can I appreciate their culture from genuinely with authentic things and not just pretending to have nasi goreng and saying, oh, I love nasi. How do you, I'm also a vegetarian.
Okay.
So, and I think when you have a conscious effort about making sure that you want to be accepted by them, you want to be loved by them, trusted by them, I think then all your efforts are in that direction. So first that and I'm very lucky that I inherited a great team. I built a great team that have given me so much love over these years, so much trust that I have beginning to call this my home. Indonesia feels like home, and I'm so thankful to everybody who's even listening to me that the warmth, the love that Indonesians have in their DNA is so good for people like us that we feel at home. Even when we are miles and miles away from home. So terima kasih banyak for the love for people like us. Continue to give us love. Continue to trust us.
But at the end of the day, it's about understanding. I guess what I got from that was like you try to understand a lot better and where you fit in. I guess like the system was already running before you were there. But then how do you fit in and how do you provide value to the
and
the
please
company?
don't get me wrong. That was not only my job desk. I had targets. I had to turn around the company. So that was something which was an overarching thing. I cannot meet my targets and I cannot lead a company without those people trusting me. You can only lead a company or a team or a group, is just an advice that I'd like to share with the audiences, is when you empower those people. It's not about... Nobody wants to take directions. Nobody wants to take orders.
Okay.
Nobody.
Okay.
Especially the Gen Z who are looking at us. We at least in my age, we at least said, okay, siap boss. There is no siap boss coming through, right? And so it should be. We all should be able to take our own decision. So for me, translating the big, huge, humongous strategy into small bites. What is in for me? How do I empower you to make that change? Enable you. Once you've understood what we are there to do and your part, that's empowerment. Then enabling you with the resources. You can come to me and say, okay, I understand, Niharika, what you want me to do, but ga bisa without 3 people, without this much IT resources, then it's about enabling you. You just can't talk about, I need you to do this and then fold your hands. You got to enable it. And the third E in my story is energize. People need to see the energy. It's a joke in my office when I walk in. even if I've had a very tough day the day before, when I walk in, I have this little thing and I walk fast and I talk fast, as you can make out. People sometimes, oh my God, where do you get your energy from? And I said, from all of you.
Yes.
You know, the purpose is so strong, what I want to do together with my team, that I get the energy and I need to radiate that energy back to the people. I need to make that energy absolutely like, like communicable. Like it has to be like a energy that wraps us all around together.
You can feel it. Just like by being with you, I just feel that energy.
So you start with empowering people on the purpose, their bit in the long story. Then you enable them with resources, enable them with direction, enable them with whatever it needs to be. And then you energize, and then wonderful things happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to know a little bit about the lifestyle of a CEO. So I have a couple of questions, like regularly asked questions by, our watchers and, people in the comments, and they want to know about the CEO and how their lifestyle is. So can I ask a little bit something like this, right?
Yeah.
When you're stuck on a routine in your daily basis, what do you do? Or when you're stuck, I guess, everybody's in their routines, and sometimes it gets a little convoluted, what do you do to maybe like lighten the load?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there are good days and there are bad days. There are days that you have to kind of push yourself, and there are days that you wake up with a spring in your feet. So of course it's very human, right? What I do is I think there are many people doing out there, I try and fit some sort of physical exercise every day.
Okay.
It could be a short run, 5 kilometers. It could be a long run if I have time. It could be just a group class in one of the gym studios.
Okay.
Body combat.
Okay.
Zumba.
Yeah.
It could be body pump if I'm feeling really strong.
Okay.
But I have seen, personally speaking, that for me, endorphins and adrenaline really work for me. It really picks me up. So not only does it ensure that I get my me time to relax, but I think that after working out, I feel that I have a clearer perspective on the same things. There are so many times, and I'm not exaggerating, I go to the treadmill with a certain problem in my mind. And I'm like, oh my God, Kapisa, this is going to be a short, this thing. And I end up running for 6-7 kilometers. And believe me when I say this, I have a solution for the problem.
Oh, okay.
I get down and I can't even wait to take my sweat off, and I'm texting people, you know what, we should try this. And they were like, oh. So now there is a joke in my office as well. Okay, this is the treadmill solution. And I'm like, I think so. Exercise really clears your mind, helps you to gain a better perspective. It just is a chemical reaction in your body that you feel much better. So I encourage everyone to find time for themselves. It can be ola raga, it can be music, it can be anything, but do something that helps you clear your mind, regain your perspective, gives you that energy to keep going on.
Definitely. Doing sports for me, it's walking, right? I like to walk while I text people. Talking to my team. I would love to do it when I'm just walking, so I get the exercise and I get the job done.
Exactly. I just did the BTN run this Sunday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I did 10 kilometers and it was fantastic.
Wow. So you're really into, you're not just a CEO of an insurance company should be this healthy,
Yes, of course. You have to walk the talk.
Yes, you have to walk the talk. Okay, another one. Do you, as a leader, they're saying this in Indonesian, so I have to translate a little bit. Do you feel that teamwork is better than than individual brilliance? I would say, do you prefer regular people in a good team, or would you rather have a team with superstars in it?
Oh, definitely teamwork over anything.
Okay.
There's a saying, right? If you want to go faster, you go alone. But if you want to go further, then you always have a teamwork.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm responsible for building a sustainable business in Indonesia, I have to always do it with the teamwork. Tapi I'm not picking up ordinary talent. This I can promise you. There is no ordinary talent. I believe everybody brings a very unique thing to the table. You just need to fit them with the right job. So for me, it's not about teamwork with normal talent and brilliant people. I think it's going to be always teamwork and it'll be always teamwork with brilliant people. It's your job to find the strategic fit, to find the right fit with the talent and the job.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. So brilliance is not about, being better or it's not being like better than everybody else. It's more like fitting into the team and how you drive your goals. And,
Exactly.
Right?
And look, I mean, in all honesty, when you're running an organization, you're actually running a family unit. You need some people who add humor, you need some people who add discipline, some people who add some different perspective, who are very cautious, some people who are naughty, some people who are very careful, some people who are like a rogue. So you need all kind of people to get the party going on. So you do need a team to bring different colors, different perspective to the table, and only then that diversity helps you to meet the challenges. I can't even put full emphasis on the experience I've had, that how when you translate a problem to a large group, how many people take different things out of it, and that's the privilege, that you can see different perspective and pick the right one with them, together with them.
At the end of the day, everybody has their own way of giving to the team, right?
Teams, yeah.
And everybody is a superstar in their specific I would say skill or talent, right? Okay. Makes sense. All right, we go to another question. This is fun. Was being a president director something you dreamed about when you were a kid?
Definitely a CEO.
Yeah, definitely wanted to be a CEO.
Yeah, so back then in India, it was very interesting when I had just done I was doing my bachelor's. There were a lot of, that was the time of privatization in India. So a lot of the banks were getting privatized, insurance was getting privatized. So there was this phase, a very big group in India was promoting a lot of women talent to be the CEOs. So I still remember, and then there was a pharmacy company, and then there was a hotel company which had women CEO almost like first time, right? And that was, and I remember there was a magazine like you have like a magazine like a CEO Club or CEO like kind of magazine. We used to have a magazine that my father had subscribed called India Today. And that day, and Business Today, and that day I remember the cover had all the women CEOs picture, and I was studying for my exam, and I just looked at it and I said, oh my God, one day my picture should be there. And I mean, it was so empowering to see women in India coming to the forefront, leading big huge banks, and I was so inspired by that. And I said, you know what, I wish I get to see my photograph on this. And then first time when I was here, by God's grace, when I got my interview in Worth Economy, and I got my picture in Infobank, and not only women but all men also, as one of the top CEOs, I was so grateful to God. And I did take a picture and sent it to my father, and I said, dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true.
Keep dreaming.
How old were you when you saw that cover?
Must be in my 2021.
In your 20s, yeah? And like, what did you do, especially, with our watchers are, around that age as well. What did you do to actually get here to the goal? Was there like any actionable things that you've done before that maybe we can emulate as well?
You really don't know where career is going to take you, right? Unless you own the business. When you're working in a corporate world, you don't know. The only advice, the only thing that I would share is that never say no to any opportunity.
Okay.
Do not indulge in self-doubt. Never ever cease to put your hand up when there is something for you to do.
Okay.
Back then, I remember I used to be running the strategy and business planning, making forecast for the future. If there was somebody who was stuck and wanted me to help doing something, I never said no. Till date, I never say no to anything, because my parents always taught me that no work is below your dignity. No work is below your thing. Everything that you can do, you should do. And that put together, that experience, when you never say no to the universe and to the people, that experience put together in you, allows you and enables you to take every opportunity. Have a very open mind.
Yeah.
Please do not limit yourself to thinking, oh, this is what I like to do and this is what I'm going to do. You don't know. You don't. I'm not going to give my age, even when you're tricking me to. But I'm at a certain age where I am still saying no to nothing. If there are people who say, oh, would you like to try this? Okay. Let's do that. Would you like to do this? Yes. Because having an open mind in the world that we operate with so many opportunities is the only key for us to go. So don't limit yourself. Try everything. Don't put boundaries, self-inflicted boundaries on yourself. Go all out. When I took the distribution role for the first time, after having a strategy and finance background, I often share this. You know, when I was presenting to the CEOs then, the regional CEOs with 40 years experience, my hands were actually trembling. You could see it. I was so nervous because I was presenting on distribution to the people who wrote the distribution Bible for insurance.
Yeah.
Telling them, I was so nervous. I was coming out of my comfort zone where strategy and finance, I could just present like this. But the same people presenting their topic back to them, my hands were like shivering. And I was like, you know what? I should go. I had a glass of water. I should go. I should just not do that.
You're like teaching how to swim to fish.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I can take about two things out of this conversation is that you say that you never say it's a challenge, it's an opportunity. You said that a couple of times during we talk, and I think that really embodies what you said. It's like you never say no to any challenge, and you just don't say no when you could try, right? At least you could try it, right? You could try to do the best, and hopefully it works out. And in your case, it got you to where you are now.
And wasn't an easy journey. Many setbacks, many times. But I just made sure one thing, that I've had a very sharp focus to what I wanted to do. And probably it wasn't CEO. Probably it was doing whatever job I was interested with. Good. It was okay. Let me deliver as a director for distribution. Let me deliver on this well. Not to be a CEO. Never do something in lieu of the other thing. Because then your focus is not pure, it's not 100%.
Yes.
But whatever job I was interested with, I said, okay, I'm going to do a good one here. And then I'll see where it takes me to.
Yes.
The last one that I would like to add is something that really sticks with me. And I also tell my daughter, I have a 20-year-old daughter. And I also tell her is that there is no shortcut to hard work. There isn't. Nobody's getting lucky sleeping in the bed. Nobody. You will have to put the effort out. It is very simple that the more effort you put out in the universe, the better rewards you will get. If you think that one day opportunity will come knocking to you and say, hello, are you ready for this job? I've got this fantastic package. That ain't happening.
At the end of the day, you just got to put in the work. You just got to, find the talent, the skill, the drive in you, right? You just got to find that drive in you to just keep working and just keep doing what you do to the best of your ability. I think it's a very great talk with you. Thank you so much for your time.
I've enjoyed it too much.
Definitely, it was definitely good, and hope to see you again. And we'll catch up with more on CEO Talks.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope everybody's found it interesting to hear some bits of my journey so far.
Yes.
I hope all of you would look back and see that maybe it's time to buy an insurance product, and we'll get the 2.7% going up. Once a salesperson, always a salesperson.
Jualan dulu. Ada jualannya pastinya.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. It was lovely. Love. Alright, itu dia CEO Talks. We'll see you in CEO Talks berikutnya. 3 SKS lumayan ya barengan sama Willy Winarko. Jangan lupa follow kita di semua social media di @opal_id.